What's up, everybody? We are live
Woo!
here at the
Right.
Business Temple. What's up, Super Ray?
How's it going, Super Alex? Yes, we are. We are here live at the Business Temple every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And where are you today, Super Alex?
It is 12 a.m. right there, and PHT, Philippine
PhD.
Standard Time. I
Wow.
am here right
Philippine
now in
Standard Time?
Manila.
Wow.
Yes. So we're killing it over here. We're still keeping it consistent. Wherever we are, we will show up because that's just what we do.
That's right. That's right. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to uh, represent the
Yes, sir.
consistency, the hard work, all of the above, all the qualities of what takes to be a good entrepreneur, to be a good business person. We're exemplifying it. They say good leaders lead, followers they I will not I will say good leaders lead, and then bosses just let other people do all the work. But leaders lead, and they lead by example with
And more
integrity and
importantly,
charisma.
showing up, man.
Hell
Showing
yeah.
up, bro. That's what's up. That's what we all about here at the Business
Woo!
Temple. Let's hype it up a little bit, shall we?
That's right. Let's go.
Play him in, play him in. What's up,
Woo!
everybody? Again, this is the Business Temple. Super Ray, Super Alex, your co-host. Be sure to follow us on YouTube. Stay consistent with us as much as possible because we will show up for you wherever we are at. So let's do this. Hype each other up and freaking happy weekend, everybody.
Happy weekend. Happy
Where you
weekend.
are right now. Fun, love, family, and laughter. That's what we're promoting today. And also, we've got a bunch of cool stories for you, controversial and things all that stuff here at the Business Temple. And Super Ray, shall we talk about learning the art of debate?
That's right. Today we are going to be learning the art of debate. Wherever you are, whether it's in business or life, or if you're, I don't know, even going through some legal troubles, the art of debate is an essential skill for anybody to comprehend, even if you're using it for malice or just to understand it if someone is using it against you. Because the way I think of the art of debate is jujitsu. Think of jujitsu and
Huh.
fighting. It's a mental jujitsu that people conduct with other people that make them react and elicit responses based on your innermost type of feelings and thoughts, and trigger fight or flight responses that make people uncomfortable. And tell me, Alex, if you're feeling uncomfortable, are you going to act a little different? Are you going to say things stranger than you would normally do? And
I
that's
would.
what I think about when it comes to debate. Who can out Brazilian jiu-jitsu the other person mentally for them to for them to
Mental
win their point
jujitsu.
of view?
And love it. Ray, Super Ray, here he is again. Man, dude, mental jujitsu. I'm gonna learn a lot today. I feel like those good ones, man. But yeah, I absolutely agree, bro. That debate, it is kind of like mental jiu-jitsu because you guys, it's a power struggle. Especially, I do a little bit of jiu-jitsu myself. It's the push and pull, and you always want to come out on top.
That's true.
Ain't that right?
When you're on top, you have control. And
Absolutely.
I mean, I have you practiced Brazilian jiu-jitsu? I just want to know.
I
But
have.
we already know. We already know. You know, you have the half guard, you have the full guards, you have your control, and you know whoever's on top is dominating this fight, and whatever it may be. And I think that this debating is a similar format. And at the end, there's truly only one victor: the person that actually did a good job in that debate and winning, and the person that just didn't know what even actually happened based on what was spoken about. But we'll get into that. We'll jump into some of the details so you
That's
can
right.
never get caught up on this and learn more as an entrepreneur. So, Alex,
Let's go. Let's teach him some takedowns,
yeah,
shall we?
take that, dude. Take
That's
the lead.
right, boy. Let's go. Okay, so I guess we can start with a little bit of story time,
All right.
right? And well, I'm gonna go first
Okay.
because I know that you've got a great story to tell, and I'm just gonna share what experience that I have with debate, which is absolutely zero. I was not on a debate team in school. I never participated in any debate. In fact, as I think about it now, I think the only person I have ever debated was my mother. So I continue to debate that. Not sure if I'm getting better because I never win. And it's just that. So Ray, I'm gonna leave this on your shoulders. Tell
Brother. Oh man, that's a tough one. Debating the mom. You
them.
know, first off, we have to explain what a debate is or an argument is about. There's, as you know, or many people know, there's generally two types of arguments. There's your deductive argument and your inductive argument. The deductive argument is based on uh, true premises to draw to make your conclusion true. So basically, what it means is if these two things or these premises are true, then this conclusion must be true. An inductive argument is more probabilistic, where if these statements may be true, may be not true, but they're maybe overgeneralized to a point that the your conclusion or your point of view is probabilistic more often than not. And in the case with your mother and those arguments there,
Uh-huh.
you know why you'll never win an argument against your mom?
Tell us, Ray.
Because if you hold your mom to the highest degree, which
Uh-huh.
many people do, she now holds a position of authority that trumps anything that comes from whatever she says is going to be true. So her ultimate argument point of view is that being an authoritative figure, me saying this and me being an authoritative figure, therefore this argument is true. And
Not
you are just
valid.
now
Yeah.
off balance. You don't know what to do. You're just
Uh-huh.
kind of like in a loop here. And this is why when, like, let's say you have arguments with your spouse, with your loved ones, and let's say the power differences there are known, and your wife says, "Hey, you have to do this X, Y, and Z. Why should I be doing this X, Y, and Z? Well, I just told you so, and you have to do this because you're guess you won't get something in return or
And
whatever."
you can't talk back, can't say anything.
That's it.
It is what it is,
That
isn't it?
argument is done and over with.
Thankfully, that's just for the authoritative figure that is our mother. But I know there are other authoritative figures out there that we can actually debate with,
Mhm.
can't we?
Exactly. There's other people that we can debate with, and no matter what setting you are, although something that has never been seen or talked about when I've been doing a lot of the research is the environment that you go into the debates with. People
Okay.
might choose their playing field. Let's say if you're going to debate someone at a place where it's not favorable, that doesn't have a favorable point of view to what your beliefs are, then that experience just changes completely. But we'll go into that a little bit more. I want to hear some of what you have to say, and I want to go into. I do want to go into explaining different types, so everybody here has a clear understanding of what a debate is, how to debate, how to rebuttal any types of different debates if you're caught off guard. Mhm.
Let's
But
get that, man. So one thing about debates that I did realize from watching other debates and doing this show with you, I think I had to do a lot more research than you did. I know you're familiar with debates and you might have you done some before?
I have
Like
not debated professionally. Not like if I
ah
did anything. I mean, my experience with debates is like from what I watched in movies. Uh, there was this movie with Denzel Washington. I forget the movie's name, but is that? Oh man, I'll look it up. But it was then and there where I realized that, oh, debate club is a thing. People in the
right.
past, that's how they were able to become politicians. That's how they were able to prove their point and I guess dominate the mental jujitsu sphere.
I can't get over that, man. Mental jujitsu. That should be a thing. As all of you know who are watching, Super Ray does have the best impromptu quotes for all of our episodes. But going back to what I was saying, as
Yeah.
I was watching the debates, I've noticed two things that help you to perform well in the debate, and one thing, and that goes for me as well. Like my voice, I can talk and I can be really motivational. just by the tone and how I use my voice.
Mhm.
However, in a debate, being motivational is not enough. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think it's absolutely important that you do your due diligence, that research, have the data to back up whatever it is you're debating about.
Mhm.
Because the fact is, while you can speak passionately, it's having poor research that won't win you a debate. You got to marry the facts, the evidence, and have that powerful delivery. And
Mhm.
as I was watching these debates, there's a lot of motivational people, this and that. They talk, they're assertive, very confident,
Mhm.
but then it's it's motivational gibberish, really, because there's no data to back up whatever it is they're talking about. I think
That is
that's
true.
extremely, extremely important. So that's where I'm coming from whenever I come across a debate. Always looking at the facts. What what so you have an argument, you have a fact that you want to debate about, but what are you backing it up with? What's the
That's true.
research? What are the numbers? So that's
Do
where
you
I'm at.
think is enough for, let's say, yourself or anybody to say that, oh, I worked hard to get to where I am. Therefore, if you work hard, you can get to where I am. Let's say if
That's some
you're
Tony
that type of
Robbins bullshit, bro.
motivational speaker.
But yeah, can't. It's not enough. It is not enough, man. You can't just be that motivational speaker in a debate. A matter of fact, I don't think motivational speakers belong in debates. How
Wow.
many times a motivational speaker will throw in some fake ass data, like 98% of this and that? Well, that and this, that just doesn't fly in a debate.
Hmm. So the way I'm hearing this is that more so motivational speakers, in a way, they speak to you and at you and will never enter an arena with actual someone that has actual data and facts that dispute their beliefs. And it's
I said it.
the way the way I see it too. It's like when you encounter, let's say, a preacher, a man of God, for
Okay.
example, person that does this for their livelihood, a living, and they enter a space where, let's say, someone has read the scriptures, has read the Bible, and now debates them on the Word of God, and usually it contradicts a lot of the things that they are actually preaching. And when that happens, they tend to reverse their position, but without losing that preposition. Like, for example, let's say if someone debates you and says, "Hey, it's in the Bible that abortion should not exist. That abortion is murder, and it's in the Bible."
Mhm.
Yet there are many instances in the Bible where child murder happens. Okay, so it's
Right.
very contradictory to what you're trying to say, and it's
My point exactly earlier. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that example. That was a
absolutely,
good
we
one. That
always
was a
bring
good
up
one.
kids dying in this show.
Yes, yes, we did. I probably should not have laughed too loud at that one. Yeah, but we are live. I said it. Oh, fuck it.
No, but it's true. It really is meant to throw you off, and
Yep, yep,
people
yep,
bring
yep.
sometimes they bring shock value, and there are different types of ways of
Shock
doing it.
value.
We can go
Hmm.
into those types, but I'm sure, Alex, you did a little bit of research. You could start either telling people about, let's say, argumentative types. I don't know if you did research on cognitive dissonance or the
No,
inductive
actually, cognitive
types.
dissonance. No, I did
Yeah.
not.
Oh.
What I did do research about is because I'm more the research that I did is more fundamental because I did not know much about debate. I didn't even know there was cognitive dissonance related to that.
Hmm.
So I'm interested to hear that. But what I do want to share is what I did learn, and I feel like this can be important for people who want to debate or public speaking in general. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's the flow that you have when you debate, the arrangement of your debate. So I'm talking about your intro. So what I have it listed down here. It's the introduction, the statement of fact, the confirmation or proof, and refutation and conclusion.
Hmm.
So quickly just break that down for all of you. Of course, the introduction is expressing your message and why it's important to your audience. The statement of fact would be breaking down the general thesis of your argument into smaller parts. And then the confirmation or proof is what Ray and I were talking about earlier, which is you gotta craft your argument in such a way where it's backed up by data and
Hmm.
research. And refutation, of course, is being able to acknowledge your opponent, or should I say opposition, instead,
Mhm.
and giving them some credibility for the argument before challenging them, for directly
Mhm.
challenging them. And lastly, of course, is the conclusion, which is what I found out, what people call debate people usually call the final blast, which is
Ha.
of course where you wrap up your main points of your argument and then give instructions on your call to action to your target audience.
Mhm.
So I thought that was extremely, that having that flow, I thought that was extremely important because a lot of people would come in debates and it it might it like it's random how they're
Mhm.
presenting information and presenting themselves. So I think if you have this flow in memory, you could debate anytime, anywhere.
Mm.
That's why I feel like it's important. So that's what I research mainly, and it
So,
helped me a
all
lot.
right, that's good. So then my question would be, what would be the right flow? Like, what is for our viewers today? Like, what is the right flow? What is the right structure when debating
So
your point? Hmm.
it is. I mentioned it earlier. It's just introduction, statement of fact,
Hmm.
confirmation of proof, refutation, and then finally your conclusion. That is the
Hmm.
exact flow of it. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps.
Can you
Keep
provide
that
us
in
an
memory.
example, Alex? If you got to use an example, that way
Oh,
we can
oh
remember.
man, I'm an impromptu this shit. Okay, so I know Ray and I'm gonna connect this to an episode that we did before
Mhm.
about zodiac signs. So
Mhm.
we actually have this episode on Clubhouse, but we changed the format a little bit when we released it. So Ray and I were supposed to debate whether zodiac signs are work or not, but instead we ended up talking about what kind of zodiac signs are better for entrepreneurs. So my point is, I'm gonna debate zodiac signs and use that example. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I absolutely believe that zodiac sign. I'm gonna start with the introduction. Hey, how are y'all doing? My name is Alex Padron, and I am here to debate with Super Ray that zodiac signs are true, they're real, they matter, and they are very important, whether it's for your love
Mhm.
life, your business life, your career, personal development, whatsoever. I believe it's important because one, it gives you an absolute guide. You don't have to follow the guide by the letter, but it gives you a guide on how you could behave based on your zodiac sign. And not only that, number two, you get a guide for all the other zodiacs. So it's like a people management skill or a social skill. And
Mhm.
number three, zodiac signs, what's most entertaining about it is they give you a peek into what can be your future
Mhm.
being foretold using zodiac signs rather. Now, there's proof for this, and my proof that I want to present. Obviously, I am bullshitting this proof right now. I did not research about it, but if I did, I would say maybe 38% of people who believe in zodiac signs are more successful entrepreneurs because one, they can deal better with people, they can negotiate better during 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 doing transactions or business meetings or anything like that. And number three, zodiac signs, it is a science. A lot of people think
Mm.
that astrology is not a science, but people do research this shit and it is a science. Now, Ray, I know you are against my opinion. I acknowledge that. I absolutely respect that. I'm here to learn, have an open mind, but I am challenging you right now. And in conclusion, wrapping up my main points, zodiac signs are real, astrology is real. Believe it. Listen to Alex Petro. And there you go, man. I can't believe I just pulled that off.
That's a great
But
example
there you
of
go.
a valid way of
Mhm.
exercising your ability to debate, and do so in a way where you not only just talk about your point, you also back it up with facts, and you debate and then you circle back, or your last point was circling back to your original main uh
In summary,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, preposition that you were making. And that's essentially how you debate. I think you
They,
explained to the
but
viewers
like I
in
said,
such
why
a
is it
great
earlier?
format. Hmm.
Mastering that format, that flow,
Hmm.
like I didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. But having that flow really gave me proper direction on how to respect my opposition, how to attack the points of my opposition, how to defend myself as well, and how to provide the important points and proof to my target audience.
And then
And there you
I
go.
have a challenge for you,
Oh.
Alex. So you're saying that people that believe in astrology and versus people that don't believe in astrology had less of a chance of being a good entrepreneur?
Mhm. Mhm. It would be 38%, I
Hmm.
believe. That's what I said. That entrepreneurs who do believe in astrology are more successful. And those that don't, I guess they're working with something else. Maybe they're working with Eastern astrology.
Mm. So you know what I did there though?
You challenged
I,
it?
I
Throw me off
introduced,
guard. What did you do?
yes, I introduced a oversimplification as well as a way of throwing you off balance by saying, "Oh, this is what you're saying," instead of what you're actually saying. You're saying that, well, I'm generalizing, saying, "Oh, all entrepreneurs can't
Hmm.
be good entrepreneurs if they don't believe in XYZ." But this is not what you said. And you
Hmm.
refuted that saying, wait, well, this is what I said, 38%. And that's a great way to refute
Hmm.
anything that, let's say, someone is trying to throw at you that may not even be true, because when you're in a debate, people will use your words against you, and they do so in a clever
Hmm.
manner by picking and choosing what you said. And when they do so, they try to just make sure that you the, back to the jujitsu, get you off balance so they can go on top of you. And then now, hey, Alex said all entrepreneurs X, Y, and Z. He doesn't think that any other uh, type of belief system works. You just need to believe in astrology, and that's it in order to be a good entrepreneur. Everything else that he said is BS.
Nope, it was 38%. You got to be assertive about that stuff, man,
Yes,
because you're
yes,
right, right? People will put false words in your mouth and try to flip the script, and you got to stand by your points and by your beliefs. And people will know and smell that shit from a mile away if you don't.
that
People
is
will
true.
know.
I,
People
I
will
could
know, man.
go into some of the specifics, but I like this back and forth because we can actually use examples so people can remember
That's
what
right.
we're trying to teach today. Because there's going to be words that are going to be thrown at you if you're trying to debate a point. And I have a few common types of words when people say, "Hey, so you're saying X, Y, and Z. So you're saying this." This is when someone is portraying someone else's point in a different manner, what you're actually trying to say. So I really hate this type of debate and argument because it's easy, but it's easy to catch when someone is trying to spin your words. And the best thing that you can do in this scenario is restate the point of view and the facts that you have already stated, and don't fall into those traps. If someone is trying to put you in a trap, don't fall into it. And this is why understanding debates is important for whatever you're doing, whether it's in business or in
So
your
you don't
life.
get caught off guard.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Hmm.
I think that's such a powerful thing to talk about. The goal that we have for this episode, because a lot of people, I mean, myself included, I wouldn't think about debates that way. That, hey, this is a skill that I would actually need for life.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And the examples that we use today and the stories that we share, it is an essential skill. Learning how to communicate that and learning how to communicate assertively, confidently, and being able to express your points, summarize your points, and respect the opposition. That's
Yeah.
These are life skills, man. I'm
Yeah.
happy we're talking about this.
And it's important regardless of everything you learned today and regardless of the things that you hear today, it's important that you always keep your cool and you always do not show much emotion in response to someone attacking you. What I found that probably the
Hmm.
best thing you can ever do is to take a more relaxed pose when you're trying to discuss your point, because if you do so, it just shows your opponent or the person that you're trying to speak to or debate, whether it could be a debate, a questioning or something, whatever it means that you have nothing to hide. You are telling someone exactly what you know, and what you know to be true, and understand that this is your point of view. Whenever
There you
someone
go.
starts getting loud or using accusatory language, let's say someone is on the other side of the debate and starts attacking your character for whatever reason. It says and says, "Hey, well, Alex, I heard you on this podcast say you don't believe in astrology, and now you're saying that you believe in astronomy, in astrology, or whatever it may be. Sorry, in astro." I'm getting the two confused.
I
It's not.
would say, what sources? What podcast? Where'd
Mhm.
you hear me say that?
See,
You
this
gotta
is what.
challenge that too.
Well, in XYZ show, I would come prepared. You said, quote, and I quote, astrology is bullshit, and nobody should, anybody that believes in this is stupid.
You
End
know what?
quote.
That might sound like me. That actually might sound like something I would say. I'm just messing with you. But no, it is 38%. We are here right now. I'm standing in front of you right now. This is 38%. Brand new, very recent research. And these are the facts.
But did you see what you initially did?
What's
It
that?
kind of it kind of threw you off a little bit. You're like, oh, well, that is
Oh
still
yeah,
sound like something I
definitely.
would say.
Definitely,
But
definitely thrown up.
if you're
Not denying
arguing,
it.
if you're arguing this point, you have to stay on topic. You have to stay on point. And I think a common way of, let's say, if someone is trying to throw your words back at you, that's also a tactic that people may use, that they might quote you for something that you said in the past, but maybe with new information, beliefs might have changed. So this is if you are on the other side of the fence where someone tries to use, let's say, words that you said in the past, but it's not something that you hold to be true at the current present moment, given that these are the this is the new information that you've gotten, then that's okay, because now it shows that level of growth and makes you look like the bigger person by acknowledging the fact that, yeah, it, it's something that a belief that might have said, because one, it's going to be on record. Someone, if they want to research it, they'll look at the episode and they'll find if it's actual facts. Two, if you acknowledge it and refute the fact that, yes, maybe this is a position you held in the past, but after this new evidence, you you have concluded and you understand this to a degree that you don't didn't understand beforehand. So now you're not you're giving your opponent a slight, okay, I acknowledge what you said, but I'm not going to let you throw me off because of this question, and I'm letting you know this is the truth. This is how it should be done.
I will use this against my mom. Lots to learn. We'll see if all this stuff works. Let me try it at the most difficult opposition that I have. But yeah, I do get it. I do. This was a good format. I love the exchange that we had there. But everybody, this is how we learn, and we did not even plan this, but we're doing it,
Mhm.
and that's why it's important. To showing everybody these examples so you can do it too.
Absolutely. And there's five most common types of like inductive fallacies, if you might say, and I
Mm.
pointed out there's more than that, but the main five ones that you should always familiarize yourself with is number one, the red herring fallacy, which is like misdirection, using a smoke screen, uh, and using words like beside the point and things like that. That's a red herring fallacy. It, so essentially it's just distracting the audience from the real issues and focusing on something else. So let's
Uh,
say, oh, well, this is a problem, but what about this stuff? Yeah, we have gun violence here, but what about in this other country where they have gun violence? What about them? That's the red herring fallacy. A straw man fallacy is something that many of us have heard before, and can attest to. We hear it time and time again. Oh, that's a straw man argument. Is a misrepresentation of an opponent's position. I just did that with you in the example that we had. Is a misrepresentation of what you just said, and presenting it's as truth when it's actually false. And when you're debating it, a good point to remember, it says that's not the issue, and bring it back to what you guys are discussing about, and instead of focusing on that easy target where, let's say you want to attack that thing, but bringing back the focus to the argument is a good way to remember that, to not fall into that straw man fallacy. The next is slippery slope. Absurd.
Who comes up with this name?
I don't know.
Straw man, ready,
It's
slippery
easy to
slope.
remember. I'll write it down. Slippery slope.
How's that, Ray? Slippery slope.
It's the argument version of it's the argumented version of a red herring, but it simply says it claims that a policy that takes a small step in one direction will lead to a chain of events. So let's say if you give a homeless person $1 on the street, all the homeless people are going to come. Things like that.
Interesting. Okay.
I'll run through the last two real quick. It's begging the question fallacy is or circular reasoning. It's basically going back. I have everything written now. Is begging the question is the conclusion is assumed that in one's arguments of premises, and the premise is not supported by independent evidence. And often circular reasoning begins with and ends in the same place. So you start with, this is my argument, and you end in the same place. Well, people are going to still come here and beg for money. And that's my point. We need to stop giving homeless people money. That's my point. That's the argument I'm going to argue, and then come back to that and reiterating that point so people get that through their head. And the last is post hoc fallacy, which means after this, therefore because of that. So you confuse correlation with causation. And back to the same example, instead of thinking, okay, we have a homeless problem, we have a problem of people giving money. So so that argument is
I like that.
Essentially, why are we talking about why is there a homeless issue instead of saying, hey, why are we giving homeless people money? So now that flips the script. So think about that and think about those five. I'll repeat them again real quick for everybody. It's a red herring, straw man fallacy, slippery slope fallacy, the begging the question or circular reasoning, and the post hoc fallacy. That's it. That's
we got to come up with better names for those, man. I'm like,
good.
Slippery slope didn't even sound like its definition. So I was like, okay, but yeah, I absolutely. This has got to be probably one of my favorite episodes so far in our season 2 here on YouTube. Thank you for this idea, Super Ray. I'm like, I absolutely loved it. Thanks for hyping me up. 12 midnight here in the Philippines. I don't know how I'm gonna go back to sleep now. I am wired right now. Ray, you're just about to start your weekend.
I know. I am. But you're doing business out there, and you're getting stuff done. I'm happy for you, brother. You're international. You're doing your thing, and you are Super Alex here in the States or in the Manila, Philippines, wherever you are, bro. You are killing it.
Love. Thank you very much. Let's play him out.
Woo!
All right. Hyping everybody up here at the Business Temple. Thank you all for joining us and staying consistent with us. This has been Super Ray and Super Alex. Make sure to follow us. Subscribe to us on YouTube. If you want to check on our other episodes, we were on Clubhouse as well. We've got a number of episodes there. And if you'd like to debate and argue with us, comment on our YouTube channel, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Go ahead, Super Ray.
Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I hope you learned something today. And the art of debate, mental jujitsu. Don't fall for those traps. Let's go. We're going to become better at this. We're going to recognize it. And we'll see you guys next week with another great episode at the Business Temple. Same time, same place, as always. Thank you so much, Super Alex.
Love you guys.
Follow us.
Peace.